disappointing result in a derby game that you knew was of big significance to the fans, Kieran. I know you always talk about performances rather than results. How did you feel your team played today, first and foremost?
Yeah, I didn't think it was our best performance by any means. We didn't hit the level that we would have hoped to. In a game that I didn't think was a very high level, to be honest. I didn't think it was a high level game. I didn't think it was anywhere near the level of the game that we played early in the season, or the game on Monday, or so many of the games we've played this year. And yeah, we wanted to perform better and create more chances, but we didn't manage to do that today. And then the game's tight. I thought really it was just a spell of 10 minutes in the first half of set plays and decisions that went against us, and that culminates with them scoring a free kick from 30 yards that decides the game. So in tight games where neither team, I don't feel, are hitting the level that they've hit in recent weeks or in recent months, then it's often decided on tight margins, and that can often be a set play goal, and that was the case today.
You talk about a spell of decisions. Was there any arguments from your point of view about the free kick that led to the goal?
The biggest one for me was the free kick against Twanzebe, to be honest. That was the more frustrating one, because I thought we had a really comfortable first 20 minutes of the game. I thought we were in control. We weren't hitting a fantastic level, but I thought the atmosphere was pretty quiet. We were comfortable. We hadn't given anything away. We were in a decent place in the game, and then that decision, which I thought was an incorrect one, really lit the crowd, lit the atmosphere. We had 10 minutes then of set play after set play. We couldn't quite get out of that phase. There was another one or two of the decisions in that phase that I thought were soft as well, and that culminated in the goal. The free kick, the decision for the goal on Sammy is probably a very, very marginal one. I didn't think the one on Twanzebe was in any way marginal from where I was, and the fourth official had the same view as me, and the linesman had a better view than everybody. So yeah, disappointed the right decision wasn't reached there, and I felt that did have an impact in the game, and the only bit of the game really that either team dominated. But look, taken away from that, our focus, as it always will be on ourselves. We've got some really good games coming up. We're coming off the back of a busy run of games, and our focus will always be on the next game, trying to perform as well as we can, of course. Looking at today and why we didn't quite hit the levels that we'd hoped to, and trying to prepare to deliver a good performance on Wednesday night against Watford.
Yeah, just in general, you say not hitting the same heights as usual. What do you put that down to today? Is it the occasion? Is it the schedule? Is it the emotion of Monday night? Illness in the camp?
It's probably a multitude of those things, to be honest. It's the third game in a busy week. Where we've really went to the wire in the two previous games. So those who have played both of those games, I'm sure there is a little element of that. I don't think we managed to find our intensity, definitely. So from a physical point of view, possibly schedule. We've got some players, I'm not going to make an issue, but there's some physical issues in the camp, illness and injury. So that will have had a factor, and possibly also, it's a really big game in reality with a big atmosphere, and sometimes that can drain the battery a little bit as well. And that possibly could have been the case in the first half, but that's something that we'll be stronger for. This is still a big progression for an awful lot of this group. We'll be stronger for all these experiences, even the ones that are certainly bad experiences like today. We'll be stronger for it. We know we've got tough games coming up, and that's the job now, to make sure that we come out of this disappointing game, this bad result with lessons learned, and go into the next game stronger.
How tight a call was starting keeper?
No, he had good confidence in the end, to be honest. Tuesday, Wednesday, he was really, really stiff, and it didn't look like it would be possible, but with a spasm it can ease up. Credit to the medical team, to be fair. He made big progress Thursday evening, Friday, and he felt good to start, and there was no risk they felt attached to it. So no, he was fine. We didn't want to take him to 90 plus minutes today, because we have lots of important games coming up, and our season certainly doesn't end today. But he came through the game fine, and that's a big positive.
You did say there was going to be twists and turns and some setbacks to come over these last few games. 2 home ones now coming up. They come thick and fast, don't they?
Yeah, it's great to have 2 home games, and yeah, the schedule has been and is so busy. We know we have, by the league table, our last 3 home away games are Norwich, Coventry and Hull, just the teams 6th, 7th and 8th. So we know the games are going to be a big challenge. It's not a situation where we can go into it and think that we're going to win every single game of the last 6 before today or the last 5. We know it's not going to be unlikely to be as smooth as that, and all we can control is our effort and try and control as much of the performance as we can. And whether we had a 1 today, it would have been a fantastic win to give the supporters, and that was the big motivation. But pretty soon after the game, it would have been about mindset and bodies getting ready for Wednesday night. And if we had a drawn today, it would have been the same. And unfortunately, we're on the end of a loss. But it's the same. It's deal with each game individually, and then get ready for the next one and make sure we're ready to give our best.
Thank you.
You come back. I think you're still to lose consecutive games in the league, I think, aren't you? Is this one going to be tougher to get over than other defeats?
I think that would be human nature. I think any defeat in the later stages of the season, when you're working towards something, are always a little bit tougher. Of course, a derby defeat is tougher, probably especially because we know what it means to the supporters and the biggest wish to give them the result. But I think for us as professionals, we can't afford to let that be the case, to be honest. And we've done well with dealing with setbacks or disappointments before, and we have to deal with this one. We know that it will hurt a little bit more for the supporters, and that causes a little bit more hurt in the group. But as a group of players and staff, sticking together, finding the right response in training, finding the right energy for Wednesday night, these are things that we've done really, really well. And that's what we're going to endeavour to do before over the next couple of days.
Any news on Wes?
Yeah, the scan was a positive, so no guarantees yet, but we're certainly more optimistic that we'll see him before the end of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Obviously, such a high on Monday, a low today. How is it healthy in some way to feel those different emotions and take them to heart, or is it more important on your part to kind of moderate them and keep everyone on a level? Is there some sort of positive in kind of feeling things both ways? If you see what I mean.
I understand what you mean, and yeah, that's part about growing as a group. Of course, we all want this season to end in a really amazing and brilliant way, but we're trying to grow the team, the football club, again to the levels that it once was, and each step along the way is a lesson that we can take from it. Each experience, whether it's as you say, a fantastic one like Monday night or a very disappointing one like Saturday, is something that we can learn from. This is still a group that's come a long way in a short space of time. Lots of individuals. This will have been by far the biggest derby match they've ever played in, and we got some really good ones to come as well. So yeah, of course, experiencing the highs of Monday and so many of the other ones that we have, that's fantastic. It gives you a hunger to have more of those sensations, more of those feelings, but also going through emotions like today, and more importantly probably really trying to reflect on what you could have controlled and changed within that. That can make you learn and make you stronger as a group as well. So yeah, it's not the outcome that we wanted. Of course, we'd rather be sitting here with a win, but I'm confident we'll find a good way to take the lessons from this experience.
Kieran, first time you've not scored since New Year's Day, I think. Did you see on the pitch reasons why, or in the shape of your play, that it was so hard to create chances?
No, I think, if I'm honest, I think the spaces were there that we usually exploit really well. I just don't think our execution in the first half was on the level. I think there was, and I won't go into too much detail of course, but the spaces that we look to exploit on the football pitch and the spaces that we're usually very, very good at exploiting, I think they were there in the first half. And yeah, we didn't manage to utilise them. Of course, the feel of the game changes a little bit on the first goal, and Norwich then defended, really compact and with bodies, and especially longer the second half went on, they were able to defend with, good bodies, good organisation, with the crowd behind them, and they always carried a little bit of a counter threat with Josh Sargent as well. So, I think there's nothing in particular that wasn't available us today. There was nothing in particular that was new today or that anyone has done to stop us. I think it was more about us, not executing to our best level.
And I know this dates pre you arriving at Ipswich, but it's obviously been a long time since Ipswich tasted success in this particular fixture. Is there any sense from inside the club or anything about that being some kind of psychological hurdle to overcome?
No, to be honest, there's not. Of course, we want to, it's nice to win your derby. We haven't had one for maybe the 5 seasons before this one. I think the game at Portman Road, we played very, very well and came close to winning it. And this is the second game that, this group's been through. It's the first time this group of players have been to Carroll Road, so I don't think there's any baggage from things that have happened, many years ago. We just didn't hit the level required to win the game. I don't think either team really hit a particularly high level, but credit to Norwich, they found a way to come out on the right side of the margin. So no, I think it just wasn't our day, and the clubs will hopefully, or I think meet again, more regularly. I hope. I don't think that either of us will be spending time in League One anytime soon. So it's a good rivalry. It's a good derby. There'll be more matches over the next few years, and I'm sure this club will have its day as well.
On that, Kieran, there's a chance that you might end up playing each other again this season. That's going to be the topic of conversation amongst fans. How would you feel about that prospect?
Yeah, look, as I've said before, we don't speak about the outcomes of the points totals much, but in reality we know there's 2 outcomes for us now, because I think we're mathematically secured the playoffs. Of course, the incredible work that everybody has done to this point, it's possible that we can secure an automatic place, as much as that's going to take a record points total and all those things. It's possible, and we'll fight for that right to the last games. But yeah, look, let's be realistic again. At the start of the season, if we were to be in a playoff position, everyone would find that fantastic, and whoever we have to play, we know it's going to be a good side. But we also know, even coming out of today, that I don't think there's anything for us to fear in this division, that we can be a good side on our day, and we'll focus on the next 5 games. We'll give everyone a full attention. We'll look forward to them, and then we'll see where we're at.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.